So let's break down the myth. Can you experience spirituality or spiritual experiences without believing in a higher power? Hey guys, it's John here. I wanted to hop on and talk about this topic. I often talk to people who are exploring their own personal spiritual beliefs, and they're looking at their perspective from the religions of their past and their belief in a higher power or an external God figure. And there's a lot of people in this world who are agnostic. They believe that there's something, they just don't know what it is. There's atheists who don't believe there's any God, right? But can people have spiritual experiences without believing in a higher power? Well, it's an interesting question for a lot of respects, and it comes from all the aspects of, what does the individual personally believe? People ask me what my beliefs are. I don't believe in a higher power. I believe that we're all one, and there is no hierarchy within that oneness. So when I look at my own personal spiritual experiences, of which I've had many, I understand that's coming from me and what most people would consider a God as one. I don't think of God as something greater than myself. Because once you start putting that hierarchy in there, something high, some higher power, you've now set yourself in a position of subjugation or submission. And when you go back into Buddhism, Hinduism, even what Joshua says in the Bible, it always comes down to greater works than I've done you do. It's you, the kingdom of heaven is within you, and what you think you become, you create your world. These ancient teachers were all saying the same things. They weren't saying this divinity, this higher power that deems you. That wasn't until you got into some of the Abrahamic religions where they really started being subjugated to this external God force. And what happens is can you have spiritual experiences without believing in a higher power? The answer really is yes. And people with near-death experiences have these big spiritual experiences, even if they're atheist or agnostic or Hindu or Christian. Religion, or the belief in a higher power, is not a prerequisite for spirituality. What is spirituality? Spirituality is the non-corporeal exploration of self. It is the realization that your physical form is not who you are, and there is more to you. And scientifically, getting out of spirituality altogether, we know that everything that we're experiencing, including our physical body, is made of pure atomic energy in motion. It's just an illusion of energy. And the only thing within that illusion of energy that gives us identity is our own conscious belief system, our consciousness. And that consciousness is who we are fully. The expression of energy that we are experiencing is a quote-unquote spiritual experience because we are literally creating the spiritual experience around us. Now, when most people talk about having big spiritual experiences or spirituality, they're actually looking for a light show or some big Kundalini rising event or out-of-body experiences. And the interesting thing about it is as people are going through their life and they're believing that they're subjugated to an external God, or they're not worthy because they've been told they're born in sin, and that they're sinners, and that you've got to be you got to confess those sins because you're just a sinner, and made to feel as if you're less than or unable to. That belief in the power of self is diminished. But it's that belief in the power of self that gives us our big spiritual experiences. So can an atheist get out of body? Sure, they can, if they believe that science is correct and this experience that we're living in is just an energy event in motion. It's their faith, it's their belief, it's their experience, right? So spiritual experiences are not in any way, shape, or form dictated to those who believe in a higher power. because of the fact that that higher power itself will often limit the ability to have a spiritual experience. It comes back to the idea that the kingdom of heaven is within you. All the power is within you. You, what you think you become, you create your world. And so that essence of believing. Now, when I started having my out-of-body experiences and all of those things, it always came down to me saying, I am having an out-of-body experience and believing that's exactly what I was doing. When I decided to do astral travel, I believed I was doing astral travel. And so I believed I was expressing and leaving my body and going to Delaware, which was a couple hours away from where I was. And I had that experience. And I brought back information that kind of proved it, that I was there. But those are very big spiritual experiences. But I don't believe in a higher power. I believe that the universe, the energy of this illusion around me, and I are one in that my consciousness is within this consciousness. And so it's not a higher power. It's not a hierarchy of a god and a subjugated worshiper. It's the concept of personal power and belief, and coming to that place of I am creating my experience. Now, someone who doesn't believe that people are having out-of-body experiences will never have an out-of-body experience because they don't believe it's possible. Now, when they believe they're they have an accident or something and they believe they're dying and they die, they have this experience because now the thing that they could put faith in, the belief in, was the body. And now the body is failing, so they have a big spiritual experience. And many atheists will come back and have a whole different new perspective on what spirituality is, what God is. And that in itself changes their life. But the limitation of being able to have a spiritual experience, it is only a limitation of the mind. And a lot of times the belief in a higher power limits your ability to believe you can have a spiritual experience. My mother, I asked her why she became so Catholic. And her response was, I had my first out-of-body experience during a Mass. So because where she was, she had an out-of-body experience during a Mass. And so that experience to her was a religious experience. And because of her Catholicism, she put faith that it was the higher power giving her that image, right? Now, I don't have that power, that belief. I have the power because I am the creator of my experience. I create my life. If I were to believe in a hierarchical system, I could say, God, will you grant me this, right? And I could put that faith in there, but it will only happen when I believe it's happening. And so it really doesn't matter whether you believe in a higher power or not. It believes in whether or not you can have the experience. And when you put yourself in the position of saying, I am the creator of my experience, and I am having an out-of-body experience, I am having a big spiritual encounter or a big experience that is corporeal, not of the body, and I am able to experience something that is greater or broader than the physical form. When you come to that belief, you can then do anything. But you don't have to believe in a higher power to do that. All you have to do is believe in yourself and your ability to do it. And once you come to that place where you can believe in yourself and your ability to do it, then what you have to do is get very present moment and very fearless. Because saying you're going to does not make it happen. Saying I wish I could does not make it happen. I am doing this. And the fearlessness is the part that you break free of. People will often tell me they're afraid to go out of body because they might get stuck outside of their body. You've got to release all the fear. Know that you are always the one in control. When you're leaving your body and you're going out of your body, you are the one saying, I'm going out of my body, and you're the one saying, I'm coming back into my body. You are the one in control. You are never not in control. There's never a higher power allowing you to do anything. You are the one who has the ability. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.